Will, he's back.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. I had to go get some crystals. We were going to talk about it today. What's up, everybody? I had to get the double thing going on now. I had to go get some. Turn that on because we're live on YouTube now.
Hey guys. Hey guys, this is VJ here, and I just joined.
Hey, VJ.
VJ, welcome.
Get to 10:04. We'll give one more minute and then we'll rock and roll. Natasha, glad you're here. Renee, Helen, Stanley, Alex, Christina, Kelly in the house. And of course we have, how you doing, Kevin?
I was just thinking, it looks so different. Like when, for us, when we can't see you guys, imagine that like, this is what it's like. This is what we see when you, you don't have your faces out there. Will's always trying to talk you into turn your cameras on because it really does matter.
No, it's worse because it's just a black screen for some of us where it's like, we can't mess with it to get it to have an image or anything because you need a camera, so.
That's true. Yeah, I have had people send me messages on the side that said they can't figure it out or they don't have that option. But thanks for reminding me of that.
Right, because I'd like to have the option because it's just like, yeah, if you guys are just flipping through, I've noticed that I'm in stealth mode and nobody can see me sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
With at least with a picture up, then it's like, oh, they know I exist. So.
Right. And you have a name like mine. Alex could be a man's name or my name. Everyone just thinks it's a man's name unless they see me.
Right.
Now there's Christina's pretty face. Oh, we got someone that looks like she's napping. I love that. I did not want to get out of bed this morning because it was chilly, very chilly here.
I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Here's Helen. Helen, you're in your car?
That's why I'm not doing the video because I stopped driving right now, but I am driving so you won't see me.
Thank you. Good to see you, Helen.
You too.
That's so nice of her. I'm glad you're going to turn that off though, because since this is predicting future, I predict you're going to get in an accident if you watch it.
Exactly. I'm not going to have it on.
Don't hurt nobody.
I'm also about, hi, it's Kelly. I'm also about to get in the car, so I'll be, no driving videos for me either, so sorry.
Oh, at least you hopped in and said, I'm an energy guy. I see
yeah,
face.
no, it's all good.
He's my energy. Akil, what's up? I heard my show earlier. She did pronounce your name right. How about that? That's kind of cool. Okay, I think we're ready to rock and roll. So.
Hi, Will.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Salam. So I'm not sleeping, I'm listening, but I was out yesterday to do some pumpkin pickup with my children, and I think I picked some cold. So
okay.
That's why I'm in bed.
Oh,
headache.
Hope you feel better. Let's see if we can look into the future today and find out when you will be feeling better.
I will.
Okay, get that good to go. And now let's start sharing. Let's rock and roll. Okay, everybody, I'm excited. Future. How to see and predict future events. So we're going to do it in 3 ways today. One way is I'm going to talk to you and give you some of the science behind being able to do this, some of the techniques, and we're going to talk about where does the information come from. And then on another level, we're going to predict the future. wherein there's going to be messages that come from Michelle. There's going to be messages that come from me. And then there's going to be messages that comes from you. So when we go into meditation at the end, and normally the flow of our class for anybody that's new, and I'm going to give you a chance to do a shout out if this is your first time being here too, in a second. But the flow that we go is we put out information. It's more lecture, people are on mute, putting the information out there. Then the next part is we have a meditation that we do, and it's live. And I'll talk you through it. It's a guided meditation. And then the last piece is we open it up for group discussion to share what you went through. So if you have a notebook or a pen, you want to grab it now, because when we get to the meditation part, it's kind of like a dream. You know how you wake up, like I had 4 dreams last night, and I'm laying in my bed as I wake up, and now the dreams are starting to come to me, and I don't move. Because every movement you do, it's like poof, a piece of the dream goes away. So you want to stay still until you really grasp the dream. And then you can move. So when we're meditating and you're going to have so many experiences in a short amount of time, the place where we're going to has no time, no spaces, no nothing. So all of these things happen like in eternity, in a blink of an eye. So you want to make sure you have a notebook or something that you can write down, your phone, anything that you can type through, because we're going to ask you, what did you see? Because a combination of everything that everybody sees on here, well, that's the future. We're going to be able to piece it together. What are those things that one person saw that someone else saw? And when I say saw or see, it could be a strong feeling. And we're going to get into that too as well. So today is hot. And if you missed last week, it is on YouTube. And the meditation was just off the chain. It was absolutely off the chain. And I have no idea what's going to come out today, but I know it's going to be even better than last time. So we're going to build upon what we started talking about last week and tap into that. So before I get into that, shout out for anybody who this is your first time. Feel free to unmute yourself, say hello, tell us your name, spiritual background, like I'm spiritual, I'm Christian, I'm Buddhist, I'm all of the above. I just recently started, or I've been going down a spiritual path for a long time. And then what brought you here today? What are you trying to get out of it? Because based on what you're trying to do, for those of you that are in the Zoom, I want to make sure that between Michelle and I, we cover everything. So my lovely co-host is Michelle, who she's with us too. And she has the ability to work with and channel enlightened spiritual guides. So we're going to be looking for her feedback towards the end. And as we go through, feel free to drop any questions or comments in your chat. You can say, boo, just put like B, O. And, eventually I'll see it. And I'm a grown man, so I'm not going to cry. You can put down whatever you want to. If you have a question or something that stands out, put that in there too. If you have a thought that comes by that everybody can benefit, put that in there too. Okay. And we'll try to get to it towards the end. So with that, anybody who this is your first time, you want to say hello to everybody? Going once.
Well, I guess I'll start to prompt other people, but yeah, I'm Alex. Let's see, basically just saying spiritual backgrounds. I'm gonna just go with not the best spiritual background, but I'm recently this year starting to just finally stop running from all the things that I can normally do. And I'm starting to explore those. So like one of those is precognition. I usually get it, in dreams rather than, deja vu or a waking thing. So I thought this class was going to be very interesting because you're like, oh, you can actively prompt that now. So it's like, okay, let's try it. Let's see how that works.
You said actively. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, you were saying that you can actively do a future prediction rather than normally how I experience it, where it's like in dreams, it will occur and it's a random thing. And then that can be like the next day or, that week that the thing that I was dreaming about occurs. So you're like, for this particular meeting, you're like, oh, you can actually prompt that. You can actually do that deliberately rather than wait around. So
yeah,
very interesting to see how well that goes.
Yeah, you can not only. So I'll tell you more in depthly what I meant by that. A little bit better than you described, actually. You can immediately tap into the future and see what's going to happen, or you can fast forward it too as well. And when you get into the deeper levels, things like we're doing next year, you can even change the past. But it starts off with having a strong understanding that the present, the past, the future, none of that really exists, that there's always the now. And when you're able to get in that place where there's no time and no space, then what do you mean there's no time? Yeah, there's no time. It's a concept that mankind has made up. When you're able to get into that space, then all things are possible. And that's the cool part about this. It's like, if you believe all things are possible, then when you hear something, you should be like, oh, well, I guess all things are possible. So how? Today, we're going to talk about how. And by the way, you can reject the future too, Alex. I had 2 mediums tell me in the same month, you're going to get kidney stones. I rejected that. I started drinking more water. The future, like in this realm, as we know it, it's just if things continue to go in the course that is going now, what the outcome would be. If I'm in a car and I set the GPS for California and I'm in Gaithersburg, then by the time that I get to Dallas, I can easily decide to go right instead of continuing on to California. And my destiny, my future has changed just like that. So yeah, we're going to take a deeper dive into that. Blend in some chakras, blend in some crystals, and then try this sucker out. Test out this car. So Alex, I'm really glad that you are here. And thank you for going first or last, depending on if there's anybody else willing to step up, or it may not be anybody new. Anybody else want to introduce yourself? Natasha.
I'm Natasha.
Hey, Natasha.
And I'm new to this. I'm very spiritual. I'm learning a lot about who I am outside of my body. And I'm really looking forward to this class.
Awesome. Well, we're really glad you are here. I was listening to an audio book today when I was working out, and one lady's higher self took her outside of her body and showed her who she was and said, remember, I told you that you're not really on Earth. If you were on Earth, Earth isn't big enough to hold all the love that you have. And I was like, whoa, that is a concept. It's almost like when you hear an idea, your mind expands to a place that it can never get shrunken back to. And that's why, Natasha, I like the discussion we have at the end. It's not about having meditation envy, but it's about when you hear of other people's experiences, you start realizing, wow, something else can happen, because imagination is the key. When you have imagination, you can manifest like the best of them. You can tap into the future. You can open up. There's so many different things that can come your way. So we're glad to have you here, Natasha. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Okay. So that it's time for us to get started. So welcome to Spiritual Sunday. This group is a loving group. We don't say you're wrong, you're dumb, this is the only way. Oh, no. There's several zillion ways of how to get to different places, locations, thoughts, achievements, and goals. We also believe in supporting one another. So this isn't a place where somebody's going to call you a weirdo or you believe in that. Nah, far from it. So feel free to express yourself in whichever way that you want to. Our overall group goal is to add light to the world. And by light, we mean positivity. Simply as that. So once a month, the first Sunday of every month at the same time that we're having this group, we have a global meditation where people from around the world get on and we meditate together as one. With the thought process being individual meditation is too legit to quit. But when we are able to combine the energies of multiple people coming together to meditate, whoosh, then that light is bigger and stronger and goes out into the world. Studies have been done that when groups of people have come together to meditate in that city, in that area, the crime rate goes down. Wonderful things can happen. And depending on the genre or religion that you choose to take, there's several things that kind of support that. Yeshua, Jesus, said, where two or more gather in my name, I will be. But that lends to the fact of group. There's discussion of the disciples circle around Jesus when he prayed and meditated, and all this light will come off of him, like grace almost raining down. Krishna, similar things have been said. So it's for all these reasons that we, not to mention, it just feels good. How about that, Michelle? It just feels good when you meditate, especially if you had a crazy week. So let's jump in. And what I'm going to do, for those of you this is your first time here, don't sweat it. Because all of you have some type of spiritual background. So what we covered last week, I think we can tap upon that and you'll still be good to go. But if you have any questions, definitely feel free to throw them in the chat. And Michelle's there too, to help us out and answer anything. So we normally know about the 7 chakras. At least people talk about the 7 chakras a whole lot. What we talked about in the last 2 weeks is that there are a whole lot more. 7 chakras ain't nothing compared. Even 12 is nothing compared to the slide that I showed last week, showing high up the multiple dimensions that can come into play. But the 7 chakras are all within our body, within that scope, within that range. That's what you kind of see right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 8th chakra, the 8th chakra. That's the one we're going to tap in and talk about today. And we talked about it last week, but it is so big of a topic. Now that we're talking about predicting the future, seeing into the future, and that could be 100, 200 years from now, or it could be 100, 200 minutes from now. You all have access to it. Some people are naturally gifted more so than others. Michael Jordan had a natural talent for playing basketball. The man could fly. But me, I'm a shorty. Even though I don't have Michael Jordan's height, if I practice basketball every day, I can be good. I can be like Muggsy Bogues. He was 5'3", played 14 years in the professionals. And the same thing goes for us. All of us have the ability. Those people that are mediums and psychics never went to a class, never got trained. They just always knew, okay, they were naturally gifted for that. Depending on your belief, they may have tapped into what they had already had learned from a previous lifetime. but for whatever reasons, they come into this world already having the skill, the talent. I'm not calling it a gift. It's a skill. Or a gift means Christina got it and I ain't never going to get it. Nah, that's a cop out. It's a cop out. You can get it too. Now, some people may not be in a position to get it. And I ain't mad at you because you can always go to somebody else to get that information too. But I want to make it very clear. All right. Practice makes better. And all of us have the ability to tap into this. I would have never considered myself to be a medium or a psychic, or going back 10 years ago. Ooh, I didn't even believe in some of the stuff that I do now, but I didn't see some of the stuff going back 10, 15 years ago that I've experienced so far. So this is what we're going to do. Let's talk about this 8th light center. And for those of you who, just in case somebody isn't familiar with chakras at all, I like to describe it as being the spiritual body. That in the physical body, you have an arm, you have a leg, you have eyes, you have a mouth, right, to talk. That your spiritual body, you have different parts, all making up a whole, okay? Just like my foot, if my foot was on fire, my hand would be concerned. Oh, we got to put this out. This is hurting everybody, okay? It's the same thing when it comes to your spiritual body, that you're going to have first light center, second, third, fourth. Yeah, one thing I love showing. I know Michelle likes this one too. This is an Alice Gray design. He's an artist. So as you see, the chakras are in the body. And as I turn it a little bit left, it's what you really look like. This light. This is what I see when I look at people. And it goes from this to that. Sometimes people's light center is jacked up and it's like wobbly. You know how physically we can be out of shape? Some of these light centers are jacked up. So 1 through 7 is all about your spiritual body. And each one of them coincides with a physical, a mental, and an emotional. Just trying to keep it real simple, okay? So anything that happens to you, any type of illness, is either coming from a spiritual place and then manifesting it into being a physical. So if you haven't been smoking every day, you don't have cancer in your background, in your genetics, you haven't been exposed to it in any way, why are people getting cancer? Well, the thought is that there are physical things that happen as a result of there being a spiritual inefficiency. So if you are stingy, greedy for decades, if you're coming from a place of fear for decades, from a spiritual standpoint, it can manifest physically. Not saying all, but when you isolate why has this happened to somebody, even from a karmic standpoint, you can see and figure it out. And to me, that's the only thing that kind of makes sense. When you see people who have things that probably should not. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is so you can understand how the light centers work. So Michelle was having a conversation with me in terms of how these past meditations and meetings we had have helped her overall, because we tap into all of the light centers. First chakra, second, third, fourth, fifth, and we're balancing them all. You got to have them balanced in order for you even to be able to see the future. So if your first chakra is jacked up, you can't expect you can be rocking and rolling with the 8th. It's kind of like the universe is like, hey, the not so smart human, can you fix not trying to beat your neighbor's ass first? Let's start there. So we got to work on these foundations. So I'm putting this in there together with the group. That's the power of the group. Even if you're not like a spiritual expert or guru or sage or whatever fancy funky name you want to call people who know these spiritual terms, doesn't matter. Because we got the power of the group. And when we balance these light centers, these chakras today, the power of the group is going to uplift everybody. And you're going to be able to see and do and know things that you wouldn't if you were all by yourself. All right. So I think that's the best I can do in terms of bringing this up to speed. Always try to tap in, even if you are going to be off video. As you see, we're not booing anybody over here. We're glad you're here. Come as you are, laying down, standing up. Okay, whatever way you want to come in, feel free to do so. You're always welcome here. Now, let's jump in and talk about this 8th light center, which we're going to use as the medium for us to tap into the future and being able to see. So this 8th light center, which is above your head, outside of your body, this 8th light center, which is above your head, outside of your body, is also called the soul star. The soul star. So sometimes referred to the soul star or even the starlight center. The 8th light center is located just above the 7th as part of that 12 light center system that I was telling you about. And it is the energy center known for its messages of divine love, spirituality. We kind of touched upon that last week. But something else, it focuses on the Akashic Records, the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is what allows us to be able to tap into the past, the future, as well as the present and what's going on. Present here is different than present India, like where Akil is right now, right? It's different than present Thailand or present Canada, even present Gaithersburg as opposed to present Northern Virginia. So what I want you to think about is, have you ever experienced flashes of intuitive nudges about your past lives or future things, like the deja vu that we were talking about earlier with Alex, or the dreams that you had, and then eventually they end up coming true? Okay, so all of those things have to deal with, and somehow, in some way, you tapped in to that 8th light center accidentally, but now we're going to talk about how do you do this sucker on purpose. So your soul star light center is said to be the seat of your soul, even though it's located above your head. Okay, so it gets its nickname because it's your direct connection to your higher self, to the Akashic Records of your karmic past, your past lives, and also your future ones. You believe in reincarnation? You can see what's going to happen and what life you're going to come back to. 1 life from now, 2 lives from now. Although I don't know, somebody may be like a spiritual giant like Kevin. This would be Kevin's last life. You can come back Kevin Buddha next time or something. Who knows? But you can look and tap into that, and everything is tapped in to the Akashic Records. So think of this light center, this 8th one. Think of it as like a storage bank for your soul. The soul star light center, it carries all of the information for your soul, all of it. So like this bottle of water, imagine that each life, the water gets filled up a little bit more with knowledge. Oh, I just learned I'm not supposed to kill humans. Okay, it gets filled up a little bit more. Oh, I just learned that I really should be nice to people who are mean to me. Last life, I was like, forget that. Every lifetime, right? It goes higher. It never depletes. It's not like you come into another life like, what? How'd you make it past the last? You got to go back. There's no failing and going back. You constantly, with each experience, get better. That's kind of cool, too, I think. So generally, this information about your soul isn't readily available. And I talked about that a little bit last week. But in the timeline that we're at now, I don't know if you want to call it the age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age. That's all I know. I don't know the rest of the song. But for whatever reason, human beings now are able to access all these different levels, all these different light centers, actually tapping into it. And don't get chakra cocky either. Oh, I know what chakras was ever since God made dirt. But it's just chakra balance in the way that it needs to be balanced at the time that it needs to be balanced. Are you having on the right colors based on what you're going through that day? Are you tapping in and listening and meditating and breathing in through those chakras so that you're able to perform at its best? Those are the things that truly matter versus knowing a terminology. So today, we're going to work with those. We're going to go through the 7, through the meditation. We're going to balance them. We're going to get them in harmony with one another. Just like working out. Yes, anybody that's into fitness, and you shouldn't just work out with your arms. You should work out your whole body. If not, you're going to end up like Popeye the Sailor Man. I remember him, he has the big forearms. Like Popeye, come on now, Popeye. You need a fitness instructor. Olive oil too. Need some meat on her bones. So when you're looking at this, we're going to tap into all of them, and then we're going to get grounded big time. And then from getting grounded, it's going to allow us to reach up and tap in to the 8th light center. Okay. So similar to the lower light center, right? The soul star light center is outside of your physical body. There's another one that goes down. So you're literally walking around like this and you don't know it. And part of it is tapping into this eye. And then the other is tapping into one of the light centers that are even above the 8th that we're going to talk about in future weeks. That allows you to see all of this. And all of it is located in your etheric body, approximately 6 inches above your head. And it resides within your aura field. Okay. All your auras comes outside of your body. It's round, it's all here. And the color of this light center, it's up for debate. Some people see it being white, the majority of people. Others see it being a different color. Whatever color comes to you today, you note that. Because I think there is no one right answer when it comes to this. Or imagine this. You may say, what color is water? Well, water is white. Well, if I put a little dirt in this, I bet you it won't be white. Right? So what if, this sounds bad. Michelle, this sounds bad. I'm going to say it anyway because it came to my mind. What if your heart chakra is a little dirty? Okay. So if your heart chakra is a little dirty and we're able to help you tap into your 8th and it's not crystal clear white, maybe it's got something else. It's like you're looking through. If I'm looking through this and it's white, I'm like, oh, Rosie's just a gorgeous brown. All right. But if I put some straight up dirt in here, oh, Rosie's just a gorgeous, like, purple. So maybe this 8th are different colors based on where you are in your development. We'll see. Maybe it's different colors based on, are you able to reach that level on your own? Or are you tapping into the group? And when the group helps you, you're able to reach up. So as you hear people talk about their experiences today, don't judge yours. Yours is yours. It is what it is. And together, we'll be able to piece all of this together. Okay. So normally you're looking at anywhere from 6 to about 15 inches above your head. You can find this 8th light chakra to be. You can feel it there too. As we're tapping into it, you're going to feel it. And that's going to be the source of us tying into the Akashic Records. Now, the Akashic Records, to give you a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about crystals. So if you have any of these crystals around that we're going to talk about, you can use them through the meditation to help you tap into just a little bit better, like antennas on an old school TV or radio, in order for you to tap into that signal. The Akashic Records, from different religions, the Book of Life, anything that ever happened to humanity or throughout the universe, to any other races of beings, all of it's in the Akashic Records. And some people see it as a hall of records, that when they come in, it's just rows and rows of books. Others walk into a room and a book just automatically appears based on what they need to read, experience, and go through. So that's kind of what the Akashic Records is. And that's what we tap into. And that's what the majority of mediums tap into in order to see, psychics see or know what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so let's go on to the crystals. So I want to make sure we have time to actually experience it and move forward. So you can connect to the Soul Star Light Center, okay, in a variety of different ways. So one method is using crystals. Now I love me some crystals. So right before we started, I reached out and I got some, and I know Michelle brought in some of hers to show too as well. So crystals, here's one. The camera, and here's another. All right, I'm gonna talk about these. And there are a few that are suggested that will be awesome for you to use in terms of connecting. Kyanite is one. Phenacite is another. Selenite is another. Clear quartz, lithium quartz, these are suggested for your use if you're going to try to do work with the 8 Light Center. So I'm going to read some to you and also tell you how to use it. So try holding any of these crystals, and I went through and did a picture, a screenshot for you up on the slide too. Try holding any of these crystals in your hands during meditation to connect with your Soul Star Light Center. When I'm going to deal with Kyanite, which is one of the first crystals that I got. Let me see if I can let Jacob up in here. Kyanite. This is a smaller version of it. And you have rough, and then you have smooth out. Whichever one calls out to you the most, that's what you use. I've used both when it comes to Kyanite. But Kyanite is a great crystal to use when you're getting started with working with the 8th Light Center. Kyanite will help gently cleanse and balance all the other light centers too as well. So all your chakras, it helps to cleanse. Phenacite, this is a less common crystal, and I haven't worked with this one, just to put that out there to you guys. But in the research that I did, this was a good one, but I have not personally used it. So anything I haven't personally done, I like calling out to you. But this is a less common crystal and is a powerful one for connecting with all the upper light centers. So I'm going to order some and begin working with them as we move forward. We're talking about the other ones. And then selenite, this is a super cleansing stone. So I use this one a whole lot because you can use it to clear out the others. So for this one, you try waving like a wand around the top of your head, around your soul star light, just like you see the lady in this picture is doing. And that helps you. And clear quartz. Quartz is just awesome in general because it kind of can be whatever you want to program that to be. That's why I love dealing with clear quartz. And if you're on a shoestring budget, that is a shoestring great crystal. And it looks like Michelle's holding up some too. She's down with a clear quartz, it looks like as well. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay. So any questions when it comes to the crystals and stuff, put it in there because that's my jam. Okay, now let's talk about opening the 8 light center. I'm going to give you some basic instructions, and then we're going to jump in through the meditation, take a look at the future. I'm going to walk you through what we're going to do so you are prepared for it. And then afterwards, we'll share our experiences. So before opening the 8th light center, we're going to definitely balance the lower light centers, the lower chakras, and get you super duper grounded. Okay, super duper grounded. And while we don't have to be completely balanced in the first 7 light centers, being as aligned as possible will help us remain grounded while activating the 8th light center, because you can go anywhere. It's almost like a portal, like a black hole. So when you meditate and you go into those alternate realms and dimensions and places, literally you're creating a black hole. If you're meditating in the same spot, you're creating a black hole. If there's a bunch of negativity going on up in your house in the same spot, yeah, you're creating a black hole. So all of these things are, from an energetic standpoint, like someone who buys a home, what was it? The old school Poltergeist movie, and Eddie Murphy was making a joke. Like he came in the house and the house was like, get out. He's like, oh, baby, this is beautiful. So sorry we had to go. Or you walk into somebody's crib and it just feels, doesn't smell bad, but oh my God, it feels bad. Like just the energy up in there. You can feel it. In somebody else's house, you never want to leave. You never want to leave because their energy is so positive. Their light is so big. So part of what we're doing with being light workers isn't just how can we get as many lights together as possible, but how can Christina's light shine brighter? How can Renee's light shine brighter? Alex, Kelly, Stanley, Grace, how can all of our lights shine better? So that's what we're going to work on right now. Okay. We're going to go into meditation, and I'm going to have you get in a very relaxing spot. You want to be relaxed enough so that there's no stress, but not too relaxed where you hear, oh, you don't want to be snoring like poop that pappy. I don't know why I got this Popeye thing going on today. So they may be sitting down, maybe laying down, whichever way you want to. And when we do this, we'll have the video off too. And I'm going to get you rooted and get you grounded into Mother Earth. And then we're going to go up. And if something you don't understand, like where it is, the light center, just trust your intuition. That your intuition knows where to go. That your higher self knows how to guide you. And just be ready to jot down some notes too as well, based on what you experience, so you can share it with everyone when we get back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you up above, and we're going to connect together with everyone in the group. And then from there, I'm going to have you tap into your 8th light center. Okay. And then from there, we're going to look at the present. And then we're going to look at the future. And I'm going to ask you some questions. Now, these questions that I ask, it's important that you don't filter the answers, because you may hear something or get something you do not like. Do not filter that, and be prepared that anything you get that comes in, to grab it mentally, spiritually, and anchor it into your memory, so that when we come out of this, we all can have a conversation on what you see, what you experience. It could be a smell, it could be a taste, it could be a color. But just because it doesn't come out like an MTV video, don't think that you're not getting a message. Now, God is bringing to you the future, starring Brad Pitt. It may not be like that. It may be a color that you have. And it may be Rozzy sees something and says a message that says the color red means positivity or whatever it is. But all together, we put this picture together, but don't judge it. And don't think you didn't have an experience. Everybody will have one. Everybody will. It's just a matter of taking your experience and identifying what does it mean. So I want us to do an exercise first before we jump into the meditation. And I want you to ask yourself a question that you already know the answer to, and then notice where the answer comes from. And I'm going to throw these questions out at you right now. Do you have children? Where does that answer come from? Okay. Did you have a great day, good day, or bad day yesterday? Where did that answer come from? Was it here? Was it here? Was it here? Was it just, where did the answer come from? Because you know the answer. You remember yesterday, right? If not, we're going to have to go in my other class. How to work on our spiritual memory. Okay? So let's do another one. What's your favorite food? Okay? And don't be like, what's your favorite food? Fried chicken. But you know you shouldn't like fried chicken, so it's really salad. Say salad. Say salad! You have to be able to grab hold of that first thing that comes in. That first thing. Because sometimes we lie to ourselves. Can you believe that? We absolutely lie to ourselves. The higher stuff isn't going to lie to you. So that first thought that comes in your mind, you got to grab it. Okay. So with that, let's get ready to rumble. So you can turn off your video. Get yourself into a comfortable position to prepare for the meditation. And from your comfortable position, just notice your breathing. As you inhale in and out. And now, in your next inhale, inhale to the count of 4. And then when you exhale, exhale to the count of 4. Pausing in between 1 second and then moving forward. Now, for your next inhale, imagine that you're inhaling through every pore in your body. And as you exhale, exhale through every pore in your body. Now, for your next inhale, inhale the cool color blue. And exhale the color red. in whichever way your body and intuition allows you to. Inhale the color blue. Exhale the color red. And as you exhale the color red, tell all the muscles in your body to relax. Now, bring your attention to your feet. And as you continue to breathe, on your inhale, inhale the cool color blue. And as you exhale, imagine a beam of light leaves your feet and goes down into the ground, into Mother Earth. Inhale the color blue. And as you exhale, the light goes further and deeper into Mother Earth. Now, continuing the rhythm of your breathing, imagine that the light begins to take root and expand throughout Earth, down to Earth's core. And now that you are grounded into Mother Earth, on your next inhale, imagine that you pull the light and love from the core to Earth back up to your feet. And when you exhale, notice how the light continues to go up throughout your body. Inhale, pulling the light to your feet. Exhale, allowing the light to spread throughout your body. Feel the light, feel the love as it regenerates your entire body, mind, and spirit. Now, continue breathing. and focus your consciousness on the first light center, the first chakra, positioned down below your waist. And as you breathe in, notice how the light in that area grows bigger and brighter with each breath. Now, focus on your second light center above your first. And as you inhale and exhale, notice how the light grows brighter and bigger. Now harmonize the light from light center 1 and light center 2 in whichever way your intuition guides you. Harmonize 1 and 2 into 1, into 1. Now, allow your consciousness to go into the third light center. Trusting your intuition that it knows exactly where to go. And as you inhale and exhale, notice how your third light center is brighter and bigger. And on your next inhale, harmonize your first, second, and third light center. Harmonize and balance them as one. Feel the unity, feel the harmony, feel the oneness. Harmonizing all three light centers. Now, on your next inhale, focus on your fourth light center, your heart. And notice as you inhale and exhale, that light center grows bigger and brighter with each breath. Feel the light echoing throughout your body from this fourth light center. And as you inhale, harmonize light center 1, 2, 3, and 4. Harmonize them together as one, as one, as one. Now, take a deep inhale, and when you inhale deeply, imagine light coming from the core of the earth up to your feet through your first light center and second, third, and fourth, all with one inhale. And as you exhale, notice how the light spreads to your fifth light center in your throat area. Inhale up the light to your heart. Exhale, feeling the light go to your fifth light center. And sit in the oneness and the light and the love. And as you breathe, harmonize light centers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as one. Now, focus your consciousness on your sixth light center, located between your eyebrows, somewhere in your forehead region, and allow your intuition to identify where it is, trusting your higher self to guide you. And as you inhale, imagine the light grows bigger and brighter with each inhale and exhale. Telling the muscles in your forehead area and your face with each exhale to relax, to release. Now, 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 and on your next inhale, harmonize like centers 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, as one. Now bring your attention to the top of your forehead. Bring your awareness up a little higher to the top of your head. And as you inhale, feel the light grow bigger and brighter with each inhale and exhale in rhythm as one. And on your next inhale, harmonize like center 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As one, as one, as one. Take this moment to enjoy your chakras being completely balanced and in harmony as one. Now, allow your consciousness to go down to your heart. And on your next inhale, imagine a light goes up from your heart through the top of your head, raising up 67 feet above your head. And as you exhale, continue the pattern of inhaling and exhaling with your consciousness 67 feet above your head. Trusting your intuition that wherever your awareness is the perfect place to be. Now, at 67 feet above your head, feel the flow of unconditional love as it goes in and through you in a continuous flow. Causing you to smile at the relaxation and peace of unconditional love. Now, from this point of relaxation, imagine that everyone in this group here on Zoom, here on YouTube, now and at any particular time in the future, are here together in a circle 67 feet above your head. And send light out from your left side, connecting with the next group member. And imagine as the light leaves from you to the next, until the light and love that you sent out comes back to you. Take a deep breath, inhaling, and exhale through your mouth, setting the intention that you will remember everything when you return. Now, repeat this mantra in your mind, feeling free to replace any words you feel need to be. Oh, Heavenly Father, we love you. And we know you love us. We are one. As children of God, we command the ability to see, feel, and know future occurrences. Now, now, now. With the power of the group, focus on your 8th light center. The soul star, seat of the soul. Focus on your 8th light center. In the darkness, What do you feel in the 8th light center? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? What color is your 8th light center? What do you feel from within the 8th light center? Continuing to inhale, continuing to exhale from the 8th light center. Now, lovingly acknowledge that the 8th light center is the gateway and passage to future possibilities. And in your mind's eye, a doorway or portal appears before you in any shape, in any form. Acknowledge the passageway. Now, bring yourself closer to the passageway. And before stepping in, set the intention of going 20 years into the future from 2021 to 2041. Set that intention and project it onto the passageway. Now step into the passageway. Now, now, now. Now, from this point, what do you see, feel, know, hear? 2041, 2041. Where are you in the world? Do you notice colors, shapes, symbols? What do you feel? Loss, joy, sorrow, pleasure, peace? What emotions do you feel? 20, 21, 20, 41. Bring the emotions, the feelings, and the thoughts back from 20, 41 to 20, 21 as you step back through the gateway to now, now, now. After stepping back through the gateway, take a deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. And grab hold to any impressions and thoughts you received in 2041. You will remember it all when you return. Now, in front of you, there's a passageway. Set the intention of going to 2022. 2022. And project that intent to the passageway. Now, now, now. Notice your intuition of how you projected your intent. Was it a beam of light? Did you see the numbers 2022 on the passageway? Or was it just a feeling? Notice your intuition and how it projected your intention. Then step closer to the passageway as you prepare to enter 2022. 2022. Step in to the passageway, entering 2022. Now, now, now. Now, in 2022, how does it feel? Are you in the beginning, the middle, or end of 2022? You may ask your higher self, the Akashic Records, to show you a calendar, a book, a news article. You may ask your higher self, the Akashic Records, to show you where are you in 2022. You may ask yourself, your higher self, the Akashic Records, with challenges, successes, heartbreaks, joys, awaits you in 2022. 2022. You may ask yourself, your higher self, the Akashic Records, who are you able to help in 2022? 2022. Now, now, step back through the passageway. Step back through the passageway from 2022 to 2021. Now, now, now. You will remember everything that you experienced, saw, felt, heard from 2022 when you return. Now, allow your consciousness to rise back up 67 feet above your head to meet back with this group, this ensemble, feeling the unconditional love and the flow 67 feet above your head. Feel the love and the energy, and it continues to circle from person to person throughout time and space, each united as one, as one, as one. And in your mind, repeat, repeat, repeat. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now, begin to descend as your consciousness lowers down through the 8th center to the 7th center, through the 6th and 5th, into the 4th light center, your heart, your heart, your heart. And as you return to your heart center, notice how your heart immediately recognizes the addition of light and love and begins to spread it throughout your entire body, going into Mother Earth, connecting up even above your head. Everything united as one. Now, allow your consciousness to return to your brain behind your 6th light center. Take a deep breath to inhale. And as you exhale, slowly open your eyes and come back to us here and now. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Grab paper, pen if you like. Write down any thoughts that you may have had. And you come back, feel free to turn on your video. And a little past 11:30. So any comments that you have on your experiences, feel free to put them in the chat. And Marshall, as everybody's coming back and getting grounded, I am going to start with the things that I saw from 20 years ahead. And then in terms of my experiences for next year, for me, we'll tap in and see what you get from the guides on advice or what they've seen or care to share. And then we'll end the day. What's up, Chris? Okay. So first of all, after connecting all the chakras together and getting them balanced, it felt really cool. Like, just felt cool. Like I could have just kicked it right there and just stayed there. But it was like a power too. It's like words can't describe it, but it was powerful. And then when I went up to 67 feet and connected with the group, at first it was like an arrow light. I felt like was shooting to the left of me and then going to the next and then going to the next and then going to the next. But it wasn't like a continuous flow for me. And then when it came back to me and we went down to the 8th light center, the color for me was said first, not seen first, not felt first. And it was said white. And then it was like a pear a pear shape, a whiteness came. And that's when I said a gateway's in front of you. And I said gateway because I didn't know if somebody else was seeing the pear or not. Or then it came to my mind like doorway. And then what came out was passageway. So jumping forward to 2041, when I stepped through, it was like all this light, like shimmering, and then it was solid. And my thought was, well, where am I? And when I came out, it was a feeling of togetherness, not separate. It was like together, like we had to work together to fix something, to solve something, to do something, to maintain something. That was the impression I had. And then from there, I started to get color blue. It was like blue and black. It was like blue and black. I started to ask, what does that mean? And it was like there were two different sides. There were people that were trying for one goal, and then another group of people trying for a different goal. But both sides were like working together as one, which was kind of odd. So then stepping back, for me, it felt like stepping backwards, literally, instead of facing forward, to go back through. It was me taking a step back. So I wonder what it was like for anybody else. And once I got to the other side, the first thing that came to mind was next year. So one a little further down the road, right? And then another one just to step in. And going in there, when I stepped in, I was around June. And then when the thought came through, where are you? The beginning or the end? Like I just saw myself zipping. It was like zip there, zip back. And then even the words like ask yourself, ask your higher self, ask your Akashic Records. Because now outside of here, to me, those are three different entities or beings or existences. So I'd be curious to know what people tapped into, because there's so many different things, right? And yeah, I guess I'll stop there. So make sure Michelle has a chance to talk in and put in.
That was incredibly powerful, Will. Thank you. That was really amazing. I had a lot going on, but for me personally, I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to talk about, for the experience that what I do when I tap into this higher thing, like Will said, are they different or is it all the same? Do I tap into the Akashic Records when I talk to our guides, our whatever teachers? I don't tap into one group like some channels do. I tap into the higher selves of the group that I'm working with. I tap into alien groups. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's really true. Anything that's more expanded than we are, I can tap into, and it's different. And so what I want to tell you guys from my shell, how I did that, and this would answer, I think, maybe Renee asked, I'm not sure, someone asked about what do you mean, or maybe Alex asked, what do you mean about where is the answer coming from? When you take time to clear your mind in a meditation and you really try to clear your thoughts out, then it is very obvious when you have a thought where it's coming from in your head. This takes a meditative practice, right? Because in our daily life, it just sounds like thoughts in our head. It's just that's one space. but it's actually different when you discern, when you take the time to clear the thoughts out. Then when they come in, for me, when I first started channeling, I would know my thoughts come right here. Whereas when I channel something outside of me, it comes from right here. Oftentimes even to a little bit to the to my left side. So I would even kind of turn my ear up, not so I could hear better, but so I could focus more back there. So this is when you practice, where are your thoughts coming from? What Will was trying to say, where are your thoughts coming from? That is important, because what are you tapping into? Are you tapping into your ego, or are you tapping into something bigger than you? Whether that's the Akashic Records, whether that's your team of helpers, whether that's your guides. It takes practice. Feeling energy takes practice. It takes, I can feel when there's a strong energetic being with me, I can feel it. It's almost like I feel different. That takes practice. So I highly encourage you, if this is something you're really interested in, just like this, and to be honest with you, I know Will, if he wanted to balance his chakras, he can do that in probably less than a minute, because he's so used to the feeling. He's done this so many times that he can do it like this because he's practiced. Same with me. It doesn't take a half an hour for me to balance my chakras because I do it almost every day. I could sit there at a stoplight and balance them, and you can too. It just takes some practice. So I think that I would highly recommend you just practice, do balance these chakras every day to tap into that higher connection. And if you're wanting to sense the future, that's what this class is about. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get yourself balanced and then tap outside of your ego. And then also, I think my guides would like to tap in. I'm not going to go into full channel mode because we're kind of running out of time, but they just want to say too, why do you want to know the future? What are you going to do with that information? Is that, like, for example, let's say you wanted to know the future and then you find out something not so positive about someone you know. Do you plan on telling them that? Is that your response? It takes a lot of responsibility to have that information and to be responsible with that information. So ask yourself, what are you tapping into and why? And is it for your ego, or is it for the greatest good? You really want to tap into something that's going to help you or help others or help us all, rather than it be like a parlor trick, right? It is possible to tap into the energetic field that someone's likely to travel on, but is that helpful? Is it helpful to you? Is it helpful to us all? And so ask yourself, why do you want to know? And then use that information very responsibly. Again, the answer to everything is always love. It's always positivity. It's always light. And make sure that you're using your skills, your abilities, your gifts to better us all. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there, Will, so you can tap into whatever they're asking in the chat, or if anyone wants to share their experience.
So I went through them, and the bulk of the experiences are coming through now, and anyone can feel free to unmute yourself at any time. I want to read through these, and then we'll end unless someone hops in and has something they want to say or ask. So I'm down to Alex's, and Alex had, it was a feeling for me, and it basically wanted to support the 8th chakra, like the 8th was a ball, and my crown became a light bowl for it. That's kind of cool. Another technique you can utilize too when you tap into the 8th is feeling it, and then imagining it's a circle that you can either ascend through, up and through, to take you, transport you anywhere, or flip it. So it becomes like a circle, a gateway, a doorway that you can step into. It's really your imagination. It's limitless. You can have whatever experience. I've spent it around, so it's like flat, but then it went And then it's like a vortex. You can say so much you can do. Jane put my words. Hey, what's up, Jane? Put my words I got from today: harmony, let go, love. That's beautiful. And I would guess probably the energy of all of us connect together. You have 20 people, probably 20 plus, because some people had to go off. So I don't know what the numbers were on this part, let alone from YouTube. But we're tapping into people who are yet to see it on YouTube as well. So all of that love just circling around, like someone said earlier that they saw a funnel. I saw a funnel towards the end myself, but that love, right? All you need is love. Let's see what else we got. Michelle, she had my big message was to be present, which is very cool, right? Because we're stepping out and in, but it's all about anchoring back in the present and now. Helen had, Will, you came through to me and you were surrounded in purple. I saw mainly purple in 2041. I saw myself, my children, and my grandchildren enjoying the shores of the ocean in San Diego, which is a dream come true. You know, you mix blue and black together. I guess that could probably become a purple as I'm describing this. So it's kind of interesting. And Alex, I'm reading it for the people that are on YouTube too, who can't see it. My 8th became a mini portal after a point. I know, super cool how that happens. And all of the energy and light from the lower chakras really combine to empower you to be able to step through the 8th. That's the cool part about balancing it. LaFonda had 2041, presented peace, love, encouragement, service. However, 2022 was the beginning, January, and I could not get past January 2022. I thought it was kind of cool that, you know, you go into the future and you're used to everybody saying doom and gloom. Like in the future, there are no candy canes. You know, something that you're just like, oh, the future sucks. But when I went into the future, it was kind of optimistic. It was kind of positive. 2022 in January, for LaFonda, it may be that that's going to be a pinnacle point for her that decides what the rest is going to be like. So for her, that's where she needs to focus on. Doesn't mean that that's something bad. Rosie had in 2022, I saw the October 8th on the calendar. I was possibly in Australia or London performing. I do know Kiesia's birthday is October 8th, who's normally part of our group in on our team. So that's kind of interesting too. Normally I don't see colors, but I saw purple and the shape was color. And that's kind of cool, right? It's like the power of the group, the things that you normally can't do or you wouldn't see when you're in the group format, you can't. Now, the question is when you're alone by yourself, you're like, purple, purple. Hopefully you still got that. I think so. And by the way, purple means royalty. It means enlightened beings, archangels come through purple, like higher level spiritual guys are coming through purple. This t-shirt that I'm wearing on is the twin of Metatron, the manifester, the Metatron cubes. So these colors mean something too. Let's see. Julianne had that meditation was super cool. Thank you. I saw some sort of portal that looked like concentric circles for my 8th chakra. Nice. And then for 2041, the portal tuned into a diamond robust shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. That also diamond can mean the number 4, which stands for unity. It stands for the foundations, building blocks too as well. When I was going through the portals, I physically felt like I was rocking back and forth quickly in my body. So this year I've had some experiences where in meditation, it's become like a physical meditation, like your arm is shaking, your leg is shaking, you're rocking, even like dancing almost, even towards sounds and chanting and humming. All of these things are just showing that you're really, really, really tuned in. It's not like you're going to be frozen like that through everything. So whatever happens, just let it happen and trust that you're in a safe place. Jane grounded in 2021, planes, trains, and automobiles in mid 2022. Okay. Christina, connecting with others in this meditation was hard. It was the first time in connecting with this group that I had to be very focused and push. It was very different. So, Christina, the feedback I would give to you, if you're still here, I don't know if she is. I don't think she is. So I'm going to put this out for YouTube for her to get it. It's not to judge, that just assume that your higher self is connecting and that doing it with a group can be significantly different than doing it individually. And just do you, and just see how far you can go from that point of view. But the thought of meditation being, oh, so it's just about me, to, yeah, it's about oneness and about everybody. Yeah, that's a totally different mind shift. So it's kind of cool. Play with it, Christina. A hallway, Letitia, I saw a hallway flooded with bright white light and my younger self. Ooh, that same process that we went, all you have to do is say 1985 and go back 85, right? 15 BC. You can go anywhere you want to once you tap into that. And Letitia, I feel my heart muscle is weak from others' negativity, so I need to meditate more and make my chakra stronger. Oh, Letitia, something else you can do is you probably are an empath, and it's not necessarily your feelings that you're feeling, but other people's feelings. And if that's the case, you can put up a protective shield around you, because the beauty in being an empath is you can know my pain, but then you can also shield and give solid advice without feeling like you're in that pain. So if you're that sensitive, then you can put a shield up around you. And if you feel that somebody else's energy is having an impact on you, we can just make our light brighter. There's no darkness stronger than the light. If you take a match and you're in a football stadium and it's pitch black, you strike that match from anywhere in the football stadium, you're able to see that light. So that's how powerful light is. So with that, oh my goodness, we went 30 minutes over the time frame. But I think it was cool. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Look forward to next Sunday. I said it with a caution because I'm going to the Bahamas next week because my birthday is coming up, and peeps from India, Brazil flying in. We rented this place down there, but I'm not leaving till Monday. So yay, we can do Sunday.
Well, if the group wants me to try to lead something, if you want me to try to lead something because you're busy, let me know ahead of time and I'll schedule something
Okay.
for the group. But I'm fine to take the week off if that's what we all want to do too. So let me know.
Cool. Yeah, we're straight. We'll be able to do next week. Week after that, we'll see though, because I think that's Halloween on the 31st, and I'm going to be in flight. So we'll talk that over. But next week, I can predict that it will happen. Okay, so with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic Sunday. I love you all. I hopefully will see you next Sunday because I'm going to be here. I hope you are there, but only you can predict that, not me. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and holler if you need me. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Chris, how did it work out for you? Did it work out?
Trying to unmute. Give me a second here.
You unmuted.
Yeah, he left me a message. I haven't heard anything. I haven't checked it yet. I was busy. He left me a message. I was been busy at work. He didn't call me until yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
So I just haven't checked, and it was a struggle getting up. So I'll find out today exactly what's going on with the apartment situation. Of course, the realtor is still burning me up looking for places, but